It's early in the morning now. I'm gonna go work on my farm and then get some ingredients for a recipe today. Man, all that farm work made me really hungry. So today I feel like having some bún bò Huế. I'm finally going back to my roots. The food of my people. So I kind of don't want to flex or anything, but my dad said my bún bò Huế is better than my mom's. So like, I know this may sound kind of controversial, but I prefer bún bò Huế over pho. A lot of my friends don't really know what bún bò Huế is. Like the most popular dish is pho, so everyone knows what pho is. But personally, I like bún bò Huế better, just because it has kind of like a spicy taste to it. And I kind of feel like the broth is more flavorful. This dish is actually going to take a while to make. It takes about 3 hours to do. So I'm not going to waste any more time, so let's get started. First, we'll start with the main broth. We're going to parboil some beef. So just throw in the beef bone shanks and the beef shank. You don't really need to wash them because you're going to wash them again later. The beef is in, so just fill the pot with water and then boil it. So I just filled the pot with water. I'm just going to boil it for 10 minutes and then drain it. I'm going to prep the ingredients here. First, I'm going to prep the onion. You just peel it. Sometimes it has a bit of dirt like this, so I like to give it a wash. Now, I'm going to prep the lemongrass. So I already washed the lemongrass. First, I prepare the lemongrass by cutting off the top. Tops and cut. It smells really lemony. And then I like to bruise the bottom by using a hammer. And then I hammer the bottom, this piece, on each of them. Now I'll finish bruising, so most of the prep work is done. Cut about a knob of ginger in half. I usually just keep the skin on, so it doesn't really matter. It's been boiled for about 10 minutes now, so we're just going to drain it and wash it. So us Vietnamese people really like a clear broth, so I'm just going to wash every bone. Wash it using cold water. Now just clean the pot and put everything back in. Now time for the main soup. Add back in the beef. Add in 1 onion. Add in 12 stalks of lemongrass. Add in ginger. I use this can of pineapple. I'm just going to use half of it. Rock-candied. And some salt. Now we're just going to fill the pot to the top. That's about 28 cups of water. Water's been filled to the top. Also, don't forget to add 1 chicken bouillon. And then you're done. And we're just going to start boiling the water and then simmer it for 2.5 hours. So the soup's actually starting to simmer. You want to remove all this dirt you see on the top, so just scoop it out. I like to put it through a strainer because I like to keep as much of the soup as possible. And yeah, you do this occasionally for the next 2 hours. Now we're going to prepare the saute. Just chop up a shallot. Now to start the saute, preheat a frying pan. Add in some olive oil. First, add in the shallots. You're going to be sauteing them for about a minute. So they've been sauteing for a minute now. Now you're going to add in 3 tablespoons of chopped lemongrass. Now you're going to add in 5 teaspoons of minced garlic. So it's been about 3 minutes now. Turn off the heat. Add in 1 tablespoon of fish sauce. Add in 2 tablespoons of dry Bún Bò Huế seasoning. Now you're just going to give it a mix until a thick paste forms. Now it's done. Now you just set it aside until the soup is done. We're going to start the pork blood now. I usually buy it raw so I can have more pork blood. They sell it in store cooked already in cubes, but making it yourself you can make more. So first what you're going to do is you're going to cut around the edges because the pork blood is stuck. Now you're going to take out a container. Now you're going to cut it into 3 pieces. Now you're just going to throw them into a pot. Now just fill the pot with water until it's above the pork blood. Now you're just going to simmer it on the stove for about 45 minutes. So it's been about 45 minutes for the pork blood. I'm just going to drain it and then cut it into inches. Now we're just going to refrigerate them and then later toss them back into the soup. So it's been about 2.5 hours. Now we'll just remove the beef shank. Now to remove all the fragrance, remove the lemongrass and the ginger. Remove the pineapples and remove the onion. So all the fragrances have been removed. Now it's time to add the rest of the ingredients into the soup. So bring the heat up to medium. We're gonna add in the sauté. Add in 6 tablespoons of fish sauce. Now add in 3 tablespoons of Bún Bò Huế paste. And just give it a mix. Now just cook it for a minute or two and then the soup's done. Soup smells so bomb. Look at how nice it looks. The broth is so clean. I can't wait to eat it. So the beef shank has been rinsed. We're just going to slice them and then refrigerate them. I usually cut off all the fat. Don't really eat the fat. So everything's been cut. Now you just refrigerate them. They're ready to be served. I just finished plating the Bún Bò Huế. For the Bún Bò Huế, I like to add a bit of lime juice into it to enhance the flavor. So I'm just going to squeeze some lime in. Now let's get started in the meal. So let me start in the broth first. The smell of lemongrass is so strong, I love it. It's also optional to add hot chili oil into the soup, but today I don't really feel like it. Let me show you the soup. Really clear. Has a really beefy taste to it. So next, I'm going to show you the noodles. These are Bún Bò Huế noodles. They're kind of thicker than regular noodles. They're also really slimy. This dish also has a lot of beef shank. I used bone-in and boneless. This was the bone-in shank. So tender, the meat just falls right off. This one's boneless shank that I used. I find that the boneless shank is a bit more tough, but it's equally as good. This is also another piece of meat that I added. I bought it pre-made. It's called shallot. This is the deep fried version. So shallot is pretty much Vietnamese ham. I had Bún Bò Huế in restaurants before, and the pieces that they cut you are really thin. It's pretty much like those processed hams you would buy in grocery stores. Like this one's really thick. Like there's 2 versions of shallot, which is the deep fried one and the non-deep fried one. I don't really like the non-deep fried one. It's not really that flavorful. And lastly, this is the pork blood. Now I don't really care much about pork blood. It's whatever to me. I only serve it because my mom has always served it to me in this dish, and it's pretty much tradition for me. I'm never going to break tradition. Like any Vietnamese dish I make, I'll always make it based on how my mom makes it. Although this dish isn't how my mom makes it. My mom makes it differently, but she hasn't really taught me how to make it. The soup's really flavorful. It's already spicy. I don't think you need to add more spice. Like it's an okay spice for me. Yeah, I can handle spice. It's just, there's like certain levels of spice that are like too spicy where it's not enjoyable. there's a spice where it's like it's spicy and enjoyable. This is where it is right now. I'm just going to go finish up the meal. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a like, and if you're not subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. Peace.